Wow, is this altcoin in the top 30 preparing for a massive breakout in the BTC pairing? After a massive run in April and consolidation for the last few months, will we be seeing another big increase? Bitcoin getting a sharp rejection at the 50-day moving average, but also finding support right at the 21-day moving average as we discussed in yesterday's video. What is Bitcoin's next move as we are finally out of one of the ranges we've been trading in for most of the last few months? Whoa, Bitcoin actually recording a new all-time high. We'll talk about why this is significant and what impact this could have on Bitcoin's price short term. And as well, the 1 year plus HODL wave actually showing some very similar patterns as 2012 and as well back in 2015. We'll show you what this could indicate for Bitcoin's price over the next 2 to 3 months. Wow, let's do this. Wow, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another extremely webisode of Bitcoin. With Bitcoin actually breaking out of a very, very hard range to break out of just recently, we have to delve into that TA, but more importantly, altcoins across the board are absolutely performing incredibly. Chainlink even setting a new all-time high last night, absolutely huge. But there is one altcoin in particular that could be setting up for a massive break out of a symmetrical triangle here on the Bitcoin pairing. So we'll be getting into that later in the webisode as well. It is not Chainlink we're talking about. However, Chainlink does look primed to continue as well. And we have a lot more data to add into that as well in this webisode, guys. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that ding, subscribe, turn on the like so you can enter for these ledgers, and we'll actually be choosing a winner for one of these in today's episode. And as well, you guys, if you're interested in a new place to buy over 40 different altcoins and growing and receiving a free $50 worth of MCO when you sign up and use the link and complete registration below in the description and comments, check out the crypto.com app. Wow, so let's get into the webisode. I want to start actually with the look into Bitcoin.com chart here, the 1 year plus HODL wave. So what I want to highlight here is that every time in the past after we've put in the price bottom for that respective cycle, you can see it's indicated here with this green circle. You can see after we put in that price bottom, the HODL wave, or the amount of people holding Bitcoin, tends to increase afterwards. What this line indicates is Bitcoin by age since it was last moved. So as this gets higher, that means that they've been holding longer and longer. So you see that increase here, and typically you also see price increase. So this was the first one back in 2012. Then we have this price bottom of this cycle back in 2015. You see this does increase for months and months afterwards, and price subsequently increases for years afterwards. Now something similar we see on this one with our price bottom so far. Price has been overall on an upward trajectory, setting higher lows, and you see the HODL wave actually increasing as well. But if this is going to be anywhere similar to the last two times in 2015 and 2012, you would expect the price to continue to climb, basically now, or even a few months ago, to basically be continuing this entire time. Obviously, this dip, which is still a higher low, which is not bad, but this dip was 100% caused by everything that happened back on March 12th, not related to Bitcoin. So this was not just pure Bitcoin price here. So fundamentally, all this is saying is that we should be heading in an upward trajectory here very shortly. I don't think anybody really disagrees with that. I would say 3 months from now, if we are not significantly above the $10,000 price level, I would be actually pretty shocked by then. And so, wow, let's actually jump into the Bitcoin TA today before we get into a lot of the other topics here. But we have the 21 and the 50-day moving averages where Bitcoin is right in between right now. This is very important to break. The $9,400 level is the breakout zone if we actually get to that, which is also right above the 50-day moving average here, right at about 93.96. So basically exactly at 9,400. We are now out of this box that we've been in for months and months and months, which again is the highest zone of resistance and support here for Bitcoin. So definitely want to keep an eye on that. Same thing here, guys, as we talked about in yesterday's video. Ended the video basically saying this is where we're going to come into the most resistance at the top of this month descending channel here on the 4-hour chart. And that's exactly where we got rejected here. So if we're going to see a break, we said if we break this, it's going to be pretty strong. Haven't done so yet, but that would be, again, breaking about the $9,400 level concretely to the downside. That downside target was like 8,600, but again, we're pushing very much towards the top right now. If we would get a rejection, it would be again down to that 86, but right now it really looks like the momentum wants to push up. Same thing here, you guys. We talked about this in yesterday's video, coming into heavy resistance here, and this is exactly where we did. 2.5-year resistance of this green line is exactly where we pumped and bounced off of. Interestingly, now we have some sort of just a symmetrical triangle within this 2.5 month so far ascending triangle with this 2.5-year resistance line for the entire market of Bitcoin. So I definitely think we're going to see some fireworks here as the price consolidates in this pattern here. Again, as we said yesterday, we only have about a week and a half to actually trade within this area before definitely seeing some sort of big break one way or the other. A big break, you can see on this chart, you would see the volume absolutely spike here. It's been going down ever since May. And actually, if we switch to this weekly chart, volume has been going down ever since March when we had this massive sell-off here with the entire global economy. But a break here, again, we definitely think at the very latest, July 20th, we'll probably get a break out of this before then. And again, this has been 4 months in the making so far. So this will most likely be very strong when we get a break out of here. But most indubitably, we will be seeing a high return of volume, most likely here in Bitcoin's chart, finally getting rid of some of this volatility that has just been plaguing us. The lack of volatility just been plaguing us ever since the beginning, really, of May. It's been pretty boring ever since the beginning of May. Now, with that being said as well, we can talk about the Bitcoin hash rate here. As you can see, just setting a new all-time high record here. Absolutely massive. You can see this has been increasing pretty substantially ever since the end of 2018. Overall, this is a healthy sign for Bitcoin, and we want to see this continue to increase. Pretty much everything on these charts, whether it is the 1-year HODL wave or something like the Bitcoin hash rate here, or adoption and institutional interest, everything is increasing right now except Bitcoin's price. So basically the fundamentals are showing that everything is going up, which fundamentally should also increase the price of Bitcoin. The only thing we're waiting for at this point is the technicals to catch up, and I definitely think they will. So again, as of right now, whereas I was leaning more neutral maybe about a few days ago, I'm definitely leaning more bullish, specifically if we actually break out of this trend yet again and retest 10K. But that hasn't happened just yet. But as soon as it does, if it does, then that's when everything switches, in my opinion, to a bullish bias there. Huge! Now, let's actually talk about this. So this is actually a coin that has been doing really well this year. You can see ever since the beginning of April, this is actually Digibyte. So Digibyte pumping against Bitcoin. This is not the USD pairing. This is the Bitcoin pairing. But you do see some sort of, it looks almost like a symmetrical triangle here that's been forming for almost actually 2.5 months. And most likely, we could actually see a nice breakout yet again with our target up here, where Digibyte has not been able to regain since March 12th of 2019, which is right before the entire Bitcoin market absolutely exploded from 3 to 4K to 14K. That was right before that happened. And as well, if you remember back then, the Litecoin halving was last year, and the Litecoin halving kind of started a lot of the momentum for Bitcoin. Specifically, Litecoin really kicked off, Bitcoin followed. And this actually happened before that. So this was back then, and we could actually be revisiting the highs of back of 2019, right before the Litecoin halving, and Bitcoin's pumped to 14K very shortly. That would be the breakout target, in my opinion, and I do think it could get very explosive. I don't think we're actually going down. I think this, even though symmetrical triangles are pretty even when it comes to breaking up or down, I think this is heavily more biased to actually breaking up here, especially with altcoins around the market actually doing extremely well. Chainlink and Tezos specifically also doing extremely well. You see the volume actually coming in a lot since April. A lot of interest in Digibyte, some listings, okay, and potentially some even bigger listings on the horizon. So definitely leave your comment below about Digibyte. A lot of you guys commented a lot of different altcoins, and I can't look at every single one of them because there were like, dozens and dozens of different altcoins. But again, I'm going to try and incorporate more and more into the ends of the webisodes. All right, so let's actually pick the winner for this episode. Okay, we have 168 comments. That was one of the less viewed videos, so better chance to win if you actually watched or commented on that video. And the winner is Sabinat. One coin going up for sure is Cardano in DMG, guys. Absolutely huge, Sabin. Make sure, I definitely recognize that name. Make sure to send me an email below. Okay, absolutely massive. Make sure to leave your comment for these other ledgers. And guys, as well, if you're interested in getting a new place to buy crypto, check out the Crypto.com app. If you use the link in the description of the comments, you and I both receive $50 free in MCO when you complete the sign-up requirements. And as well, if you're interested in trading, check out the links in the description. There are some nice bonuses that you can trade with, guys. And yeah, without any further ado, I'll see you in the next webisode. Peace!